Welcome to OOD Works, the podcast, the show about unique individuals and services provided by Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities, the state agency that helps individuals with disabilities find a job and be more independent. Here's your host, Kim Jump.
On today's podcast, we have Gabrielle, who goes by Gabby Kaczynski, the reigning Miss Wheelchair Ohio. And Gabby, who is from Crawford County, has been a participant with OOD and was crowned Miss Wheelchair Ohio 2024 in March. Her platform is dedicated to teaching children how to interact with and have a better understanding of individuals with disabilities. Gabby, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's exciting to see you. Our listeners won't see the video of our recording, but you're wearing your tiara and your sash, and you are representing Ms. Wheelchair. I know you've been busy since being crowned. And one of the things I've heard about you is that you love children. Where does this come from?
I do love children. I've loved children my whole life. Actually, I've always said I wanted to work with children because I can't have children of my own, unfortunately, like I would love to. So I've always said I wanted to work with children so that I could make a difference in their lives.
Mm-hmm. Children is part of your platform. I know you've been visiting some schools. Is that right?
Yes, I have been visiting some schools.
I bet they love having you.
Yes.
And so you're in a wheelchair, and I know you are someone who has cerebral palsy. Can you just talk to us a little bit of maybe some of the challenges that you've encountered as someone with these disabilities?
So I've had cerebral palsy, or CP, as some call it, since I was 19 days old. My mom's first Mother's Day, I got a really high fever, which resulted in me going into a deadly seizure, and I almost died. Luckily, by the grace of God, I did not. But because of that, I ended up with CP. And the challenges, obviously, narrow doorways or not enough businesses having ramps. But I'm working on that. Among other challenges, of course, I'm total care, so someone takes care of all my basic needs. Mm-hmm. Well, besides, I can feed myself finger foods and certain foods. Mm-hmm. And I use my right arm, but I can't use my other one, and I'm wheelchair bound.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for sharing about that. I think it helps for others to just understand a little bit better about where you're coming from.
But I do not let it get in my way. Funny enough, even when people try to tell me what I can and cannot do, I prove them wrong.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any examples of that?
So people have said, funny enough, that I couldn't do cheerleading because of my wheelchair situation, but I am a part of my local Special Olympics cheerleading squad. Also,
love it.
People have said that I couldn't work with children. Well, I prefer children because they understand more than most adults, unfortunately, nowadays. So I plan to eventually further my education goals when I turn the legal age for FAFSA.
Nice. Okay. And so probably pursuing something that's related to early childhood or childhood education?
Yes. Childhood education.
Okay. Do you have a favorite age range?
So I prefer kindergarten, first grade, but anything, I'm open to anything before that, but not much older than first grade.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Fun ages.
Because I believe the younger the better, so that if they're exposed to individuals with disabilities when they're younger, they'll be more accepting to approaching them properly as they get older.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really what your platform is all about. Helping children better understand how to interact with people with disabilities. Can you speak more on that?
So unfortunately, in my experience, children approached me better than most adults. And what I mean by that, they are not like afraid to go up to me, and they don't do the baby talk, which what I mean by that, unfortunately, most adults who are not around me on a day-to-day basis come up to me and bend down and talk to me in that baby voice. And
Like they talk down to you, yeah.
you don't have to do that.
Right.
Just because I'm in a wheelchair doesn't mean I'm not capable of holding an adult conversation. Or
Right.
like I've seen some parents tell their kid not to talk to me when they're more brave enough than their parents.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's not the case. So I believe that if they're exposed to individuals with disabilities at a young age, they'll be more appropriate at how they approach them as they get older.
Yeah, just having it be a normal part of growing up.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you have any pointers you give the kids or any special takeaways that you hope after you've done a presentation with children that you hope will stick with them?
So I tell students that don't be afraid to approach someone that is may look different than you, because you never know. They may like the same things as you, and they may become your new best friend or new friend. You just never know. And they can like the same things that you. We just want to be treated just like anyone else.
For sure. I think that's a wonderful message that you're taking out into the communities for our children. That's awesome. What's on tap for you? Do you have certain plans that you've been working through where you're trying to collaborate with educators or parents or community groups to the jowl?
Well, I just want to throw it out there. Right now, it will be closing here maybe next week. Before my national competition, I have a fundraiser for Print Happy that has shirts that have the CP logo, and my platform knowledge is power on it. So if anyone wants that, they can go on my Facebook page and find the link. But also, I'm just going around and talking to elementary students and telling them don't be afraid to approach that person that may look different than you. Also, don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do.
You're getting ready for a national competition.
Yes. So Mother's Day weekend, me and my mom are doing a raffle for baskets. So if anyone wants tickets, they can go on my Miss Wheelchair Ohio page and comment or message me. Also, like I said, here in a couple days, like I think next week it closes, but I also have a link open for Print Happy here in my town for t-shirts. If anyone wants t-shirts that have the CP logo and then my platform name, and we have things for all ages.
Gabby, we'll be sure to share that link so that our listeners can know how to connect with you and find out more and support you. How was it that you first connected with opportunities for Ohioans with disabilities?
So I've had cases open off and on for years now, because for job hunting, I've worked with Troy Gilliland through RNI, who was my job coach, but I also worked with Audrey Mueller and the other lady I told you about, and even
Yeah,
someone else.
Lori Markley.
Yeah, Lori Merkley is currently the person I'm working with to find a job. So
Yeah,
I've had a
that's great.
couple people work with me through OOD in the past.
We might be skipping someone, so forgive us, right?
Yeah.
If we're forgetting
I
someone.
know I'm skipping someone, but I can't remember her name.
That's okay. That's okay. What's that been like for you getting services? Have you found that helpful and kind of,
Yes. As a door greeter for 3 or 2 years. I just
huh?
quit this past December, unfortunately, due to circumstances. But yes, they helped me find that job.
That's great. So it's been a few years, and is your involvement with Ms. Wheelchair Ohio, would you consider that kind of more of like a side gig? Or does that, I guess what I'm getting at is, would you want to pursue a job while you hold the title, or would that be too much?
I'd be interested in looking, but I just have too much stuff with my Miss Wheelchair Ohio
Sure.
to, because I have
Mhm.
to commit to that right now.
Yeah.
And it's only, I only hold the title for a year.
Okay. So you've mentioned that you participate in some day programming. What's that like?
So I currently attend Chrysalis at Vantage Point here in Bucyrus, and so I attend there 5 days a week, Monday through Friday from 9 to 2:30.
hmm
And so I sometimes help deliver meals on wheels to elderly folk for that, because they take us out into the community to help with that. And I've
Oh.
also helped pick work a couple times.
hmm
So it's very community based.
That sounds like a good fit for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I really get the sense from you, Gabby, that it's important to you, whether it's investing in kids and shaping how they think about people with disabilities or giving back to your community. You really strike me as someone that community service is important to you.
Yes. But my goal is to focus my whole attention eventually on doing a job that involves children.
hmm Yeah, and OOD will help you with that. OOD's here for you as you want to further your education and when you're ready to actually put out the applications and figure out, kind of where those employer connections are.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're at the right place. That's awesome. I'm glad you're connected. If people want to find out more about you or connect with you, is the best place your Facebook page?
Yes. You can do my professional page, which is Miss Wheelchair Ohio 2024 Gabby Kaczynski, or you can contact me for my regular Facebook page, Gabby Kaczynski, or I have an email,
Yeah.
or I have a phone, which is 419-561-2485. So either or any of those options are good.
Okay, wonderful. Well, as we look to wrap up today, Gabby, what is one thing you want our listeners to remember about you?
Just because someone is in a wheelchair doesn't mean that they are not capable of doing whatever they want to do in life, whether it is with working with kids or adults or whatever. And don't try to tell them what they can and cannot do. And not every disability is the same. Just because they appear to be in a wheelchair doesn't mean that their minds are not brilliant.
That's right. That's right. You're testament to that. I love it. I love that persistence. And some things take a lot longer than others to achieve, and that's okay.
Yes,
Yeah. You seem like someone that believes in don't give up.
yes. And I don't like being told what I can and cannot do.
No, you don't. It gets you fired up, doesn't it?
Oh, and It most definitely does.
Oh, well, this has been great. I really appreciate you reaching out, and I love what you're doing with the kids in Ohio. I think it's fabulous. It's such a worthwhile message, Gabby.
Thank you.
A transcript of today's episode is available at ood.ohio.gov/podcast. We welcome you to subscribe and leave a review. We're on social media at Ohio OOD. Do you have a disability? Do you want a job? We can help. oodworks.com.